the middle. So we're going to start with Habib versus Bouvier. You've indicated that you all have agreed on the plan, the parenting plan presented by the guardian ad litem. I understand the guardian ad litem submitted an amended plan. Were you all aware of that amended plan?
I haven't seen it, but her and I have been discussing the amendments, Judge.
Okay, and what about Ms. Bouvier? Miss, oh, is it, sorry, I don't know who I'm talking to. Bouvier is male or female? I apologize. Where are they? Okay, Miss Bouvier. Okay, Miss Bouvier, were you aware of the new guardian ad litem, amended guardian ad litem report? You need to unmute.
The amended guardian ad litem report. I'm probably not sure if I'm aware of that.
Did you have an opportunity?
I did an amendment.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Did you, Ms. Giles, did you have an opportunity to speak to Ms. Bouvier about any changes to your report?
No, I had sent the updated report to the court, but didn't release it to anyone absent permission.
Okay. Were there any changes, significant changes to the report?
The only changes to the report, I'm still, for school year visitation, recommending that Mr. Habib have the child the first, third, and fifth weekends. I would recommend, since this is the third weekend coming up, that visitation can easily, neatly start, since this is the third weekend. So I believe that's the 19th.
Who starts it on the 19th? Mr. Habib?
Mr. Habib.
Mr. Habib.
Habib, okay.
And then for summer parenting time, Miss Fuller did ask on behalf of her client. I had initially recommended that Mr. Habib, just the standard 2 weeks of summer visitation for the parents. Miss Fuller, on behalf of her client, did ask if I would be opposed to having each of them having essentially 4 weeks of parenting time with Malaya. I'm not opposed to that ask, Your Honor. And my concern is that, just based on the difficulties that I think the parties have had, that we need to specify like when that is, so there's no back and forth. And so Miss Fuller asked, and I think it would, again, I'm not opposed to it, is if it could start basically Father's Day weekend and go for 4 weeks.
Right.
Thereafter. And then I would also recommend, in my updated report, I don't think it's clear as I reread it, but I would recommend that Miss Bouvier also had that equal amount of time in the summer so they could travel. I think if they are not traveling during a week, they have Malaya in the summer, the other parent needs to have a Wednesday night dinner, because it's too long to go without either parent seeing Malaya for 4-week chunks.
Are they in the same area?
They're
Yes,
not relatively close.
Yeah. Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain and where?
They're both in the Stone Mountain area, Judge.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm sure. All right. And so for Ms. Bouvier, with regard to, I don't like the summer, and I guess Ms. Fuller, I don't like the summer cut up like that. I think we either have, a month of June or the month of July. That way each person kind of gets a 4th of July, and kind of flip that around. And that I'm more amenable to, but starting on Father's Day, ending some odd time afterwards, I don't care for that unless there's a specific, some type of.
It's okay if we, and it might be easier if we said the month of June or the month of July, just because the parties, it would be simpler for them. And my client is okay with that. If we just need, the families from Jamaica, they travel a lot. So it would be nice if she can go and spend some time with relatives there. So that period of time would be consistent with that for them, if it's June or July.
Okay. Okay, so let me. Elena, can you send me the guardian ad litem report again, please?
I'm sorry.
Send me the guardian ad litem report. You said
it should be in your office.
Your Honor, excuse me, can I get a copy as well?
Yes, I just need to release it. Where'd you say it was? Oh, I got it. You're right. I see it right here, Elena.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Miss Marshall.
For the record,
email
did anyone,
Sorry.
excuse me, for the record, did anyone receive my amended plan, parenting plan?
No, I did not, because maybe I misunderstood the announcement. I thought I asked you, were you amenable to the guardian line report following it? And I thought you said yes. So you're indicating
No, I did not.
You did
I
not.
haven't seen it at all.
The original one you haven't seen?
She just you just said that she had an amended
Yeah,
parenting plan.
I
That's
get
the one
the-
I'm talking
I get-
about.
Yes, I understand that. But the original one that you got, that's the announcement was made from that one. And the announcement Ms. Fuller made was that you all were amenable to that plan. Was that not your understanding?
Yes, I have several issues with the original.
Okay, so then I misunderstood you, because I was thinking that you said you were all amenable, and so 15 minutes is what I cut out. If you're disagreeing with the plan, that's a full hearing. That's not 15 minutes. So your position is you disagree with the plan.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a whole different ballgame. All right. So that means I am, so that I can kind of get an understanding of time. What specifically do you disagree with?
The entire thing.
Ma'am, you don't disagree with the entire thing unless you're saying that you don't want the child to have any contact with Mr. Habib.
I would like to have supervised visitation.
Okay. All right.
I also have other things that I actually filed into the case too, with Mr. Habib's arrest records. So I have that filed as well.
Okay. So on that matter, we're going to put this one towards the end because this is a full hearing. So that it's definitely not 15 minutes. It's more like 2 hours at least. So hold. Let me go back and look. We'll go back to let's see. So, Ms. Marshall, were you able to send me the first guardian ladder report?
There was none never filed, Judge.
Okay. So, okay, Ms. Giles, is the updated report, this is the first written report?
No, there's three. There was one in March of 23, November of 23, and then this one that from yesterday.
Okay, Ms. Marshall said we don't have it.
I can send that quickly
I
right now.
don't see them in the file or any seal orders.
Okay, maybe we get them via email. Maybe we told her to release it via email.
Yes, they were all emailed into the court, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, can you send those to me, Ms. Giles?
Yes, I can.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
For the record, I just received this report and it's a lengthy report. And due to the seriousness of this matter, my child's safety being at stake, I have to consult with legal counsel. So I need a
Ms.
continuance.
Bouvier, no, we're not doing that. Your child's safety has always been the issue. That's always been the issue. So you should have had legal counsel from day one. This report is I understand that it might be new to you, but this report has information in here that generally is already well known to you. The only thing this report does is setting out the information that you provided to her for one and making her recommendation. So we're not starting this over. We're not taking a 22 case and you starting to get general counsel right now. That's not happening. Okay, we're going to go through it. I'll consider the evidence that you have presented. Because quite frankly, I did look through the evidence that you presented to the court, and I do have some concerns as well. But we're not starting. This is not starting over. Okay.
I just sent those to Miss Marshall.
Okay, give me a moment. So I was trying to figure out what happened to the guardian ad litem reports because we didn't receive them. We did receive them, but they went to the division 11 and 12, which basically are our backup divisions that we use to help with the COVID backlog. So they went to their staff because they were helping us with those cases. So I never got an opportunity to digest what was essentially going on, particularly in this case. I do remember the first, or somewhat remember the first time I met with or dealt with this particular file. Hold on, make sure. And I think the other times thereafter have been with another judge, which is kind of unfortunate. So usually there are cases that I kind of know Miss Marshall knows not to put with anybody else because they have some particular things in there, and I try to be mindful of sending those that I have a lot of history with or ones that got some really concerning issues. But this one did not stay with me, but based on the allegations in there, it should have. And so I'm just getting the opportunity to digest this. And so although generally I would not want to give a continuance on this, I might have to. And let me tell you why. So far, this is what I've seen. Ms. Bouvier submitted some records regarding Mr. Habib. They are very alarming to me. Not the molestation issues. I think that's been worked out. But Mr. Habib has some history of drug use that involved, looks like some sort of home invasion. Then there was some type of police chase issue. There's some issues of marijuana being grown in the backyard. Those are some issues that are very alarming to me. And I need to look at all of these records because I can understand why she might have some concerns, because quite frankly, without a picture or a landscape I'm sure Ms. Fuller is going to give me, this doesn't look good. And I would be very concerned about a child going into that environment. I'm sure there are some things that we need to be mindful of, and I know it has some history behind it because I know that those things happened a few years ago. But they happened, or at least that's the allegation. And so I need to look at it. The reports are just too much for me to digest at 3 o'clock. So, because I think she submitted, I went back through and I looked at the exhibits that she submitted, and then I went back through Ms. Giles' reports that also have additional criminal issues on there. I think there was even one for Ms. Bouvier dealing with cruelty to children.
That's correct, Judge.
That I need to take a look at as well. So unfortunately, although generally I like to kind of push forward, I do think I need a moment to digest all of that.
May I ask, Judge, these allegations did happen during the time that Mr. Habib and Ms. Bouvier were together in their relationship. She has some criminal charges as well. She, subsequent to those allegations, those charges, they were still co-parenting. Mr. Habib had the child for some time, and they were still co-parenting. The only reason why Miss Bouvier said that she doesn't want him to have contact with the child is because of this child molestation allegations, which
well,
were
that's not what she put in her reports. Her put in her reports were the safety of father dealing with those allegations. That she didn't just say molestation. She said also the general safety of the child. So here's the thing. I really don't care to some extent if Ms. Bouvier was like, okay, I'm okay with him staying with her. I may not be. Because, if you got somebody breaking down your door to come into your house and then the police alleging that dope is everywhere, that's alarming to me. Okay.
And that's when they were living together, Judge.
That might be. I don't know. Like I said, I can't. It's no need of you explaining because I understand there is a landscape to it. I'm just telling you I don't know what that landscape is, and I need to give you the opportunity to give that to me. So what I need to do is read through Ms. Giles' reports so that I will have a better understanding of where we all are instead of jump to conclusions. I don't want to do that. So, and then stuff all the information in my head and then listen to you guys. I don't think that would be fair. So what I'm asking is, what I'm suggesting to do is let me read through her reports. And then you can come give me the landscape, like they were together, she was okay with it, you know, that kind of thing. I like I said, I'm assuming there's a landscape to it, obviously. But I don't know what that is right now. I'm just looking at it from, and it, you know, has some shock value right now. So let's just have cooler heads, give me an opportunity to review it, come back, and then we'll have a hearing on it so that I can see everything more plentiful than kind of the shock of just kind of pulling it all together and going, okay, why this? Where is this? Where does this fit? You know, it'll be easier for you all, for me to be able to digest the information if I reviewed it prior to. And like I said, a lot of these cases, when I have cases like this, I like to keep them. I don't like to kind of give them out because it's hard for me to pull the information if another judge hears them. So Ms. Marshall normally will tell me, Judge, you can't pull this one on that calendar. Don't put that one on the calendar. For some reason, this one didn't happen that way. I'm not certain why, because it just, I don't know. But this is one that requires a little bit more information for me. I'm not blaming Ms. Marshall for that. I'm just saying that this is, you know, one of those things. Sometimes we don't know, you know, how much information and what sort of the allegations are. I do remember that initially the allegations appeared to be dealing with child molestation. And then I was concerned about Miss Bouvier's mental health. So I think that was where my focus was, on that issue. Now I'm reviewing the reports, and there's reports about the overall safety of this child dealing with drugs and home invasions and cruelty to children. It's just a lot of information, and I need to pull it all together. So we're going to cancel the hearing, or we're going to reset this hearing. I'm going to go through the reports that Ms. Giles presented, and then I'll be better prepared when we reset for the next.
I have one last beg, Judge. One last beg. So part of our issue is, I think we have not been able to work out some sort of amicable agreement with Miss Bouvier. I feel like if we reset this another time, and there's a long period of time where she wouldn't get the psychological evaluation done, etc. So we weren't able to do any kind of visitations during Christmas, etc. Mr. Bouvier, he moved in with his mom. She's a licensed attorney in the state of Georgia. I would ask the court at this point, just as an interim order, that he can have supervised visits at the grandmother's house pending this matter. Grandma, he has a significant relative connection. They do have that criminal history in the back. But as far as grandma, if she's able to supervise Malaya visiting with her and dad while he's at her house, I would just ask that as a concession so that he can start to rebuild his relationship with her.
All right. And Ms. Giles, so what's your position on that?
I don't have any issue with that, Your Honor. I do think the relationship with Malaya needs to start sooner rather than later. I don't have any issues whatsoever with Miss Francis, who is Romario's mom. She's, as Miss Fuller said, she is a member of the bar. She's always been very forthcoming with information. I believe she's extremely responsible, and he is living with her as confirmed by her.
Okay, Ms. Bouvier. You need to unmute.
Okay. As long as the grandmother's there, I'll grant that.
Okay, so we'll start that. And we'll do that on the weekends. You wanted to start this weekend, which weekend is this? The third?
This is the third weekend.
Third weekend.
Okay. So we'll do first and third, and then we'll put this back on the calendar next month anyway.
Okay, that's fair, Judge. Thank you so much.
Understood.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Miss Marsh, can you forward that to Dion and tell Dion to print all of those reports down for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, y'all take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.